Hey YouTubers and YouTuberettes, ConorArmCEO here. How y'all doing tonight? Well, it's past midnight and I did say to myself that you need to do your review video. As you said from your last video, you were going to do some reviews about some films you've seen, which of course is internet famous Batman the Laughing Joke, and which of course I'm going to start with the first video that I saw, which of course I had to get it at the last minute because it was there and I wasn't sure if it was going to stay in the stores that long. So it's the action-packed return of a franchise that Jackie Chan is most famous for, and that's the police story. And it's called Lockdown, which is based after the last police story he did was called The New Police Story, which of course in this film you see him in a dark tunnel, battered, bruised, teared, and he has the smile on his face and he points a gun at his head. And then, bang. And then I was in complete shock and I thought, oh, is he going to end the police story franchise? So, so it just said, hours later, 10, 18, I don't really remember. It's him lying in the back seat of a taxi, unconscious, which of course I thought he was back to drinking again, as in the last story that he did of the police story, which of course he actually felt he was actually asleep in the car, because by the looks of things it was a long trip and it probably cost a lot. And so it pays for the taxi, walks out and looks for this nightclub that his daughter, yes, he has a daughter, which I'll get to tell you shortly after I get to this. He has to meet her in this nightclub, which was I think it was sort of like some sort of a factory, but it's been turned into a nightclub. And his boyfriend, her boyfriend owns it, and he's quite older, and she's changed her look. She has pink hair, she has tattoos, she's dressing inappropriately, and she's telling her that she's telling him that she's with this guy and she owns the club, and Jackie Chan's really not happy about it, and he was all like saying, are you sure this is what you want? I mean, look at the way he's working. He has live piranhas that he feeds. Because I mean, in nightclubs, people in films like this, they do have weird pets, you know, like snakes, poison spiders, poison snakes, piranhas, monstrous dogs that they've been treated abusively, but only to attack others when they're told. Because I mean, this is rough. And then shortly after, a drunk homeless man comes into the bar, starts making a ruckus, and by the looks of things, he has dynamite strapped all over his body, and he says he's going to tear the place up, he's going to like blow the place up. But of course he says it in Chinese, because I like listening to films that are not dubbed, because I mean, when you listen to it, you're saying, okay, that's not Jackie Chan, that's not Bruce Lee, that's not Jet Li, that's not Tony Jaa here. So I just like listening to the proper language instead of hearing the dubbed, which of course if I have no choice but to listen to the dub, because there are some movies that just dubs it and you can't really change it, because sometimes when you change it, it comes back, like The Drunken Master. You can change it back to the Oriental language, but it comes back to dub English, which I had to just get by. But shortly after, Jackie's daughter's boyfriend, who was a former Muay Thai champion, takes down the bomber, and everything was just fine, and then suddenly everything else just went crazy, and then Jackie Chan gets a thump in the back of the head, and which of course they don't know he's a police officer until they find out, which of course after he comes to, he finds out that Jackie Chan's daughter's boyfriend attacked him from behind, because he was wearing a mask and a weird costume, and he actually seen his face, and everything to the boyfriend, all coming according to plan, because he's been planning to get his hands on Jackie Chan for a while, but I won't get to that yet. But, well, I should say, long story short, he wants a man that has been in connection of his sister's death, because what happened was she was at a chemist getting some medicine, and the next thing, this guy stole medication because he couldn't afford it and his mother was sick, and then from out of nowhere he takes a knife out and he points it around the girl's neck, which of course is the boyfriend's sister. And then Jackie Chan comes in, he gets a phone call, but he couldn't answer it because he was in the middle of a situation that's nearly going out like crazy. And from out of nowhere, her throat gets slit, and she's just basically lying in a pool of blood, and then he gets a phone call again, which of course was a voicemail from her daughter that her mother that he proposed in New Police Story has died, and she never forgave her father for that. She just got up and walked away and left him in his own sorrows. He was really upset, and he tried to get reconnected with his daughter, and then after the building got locked up and everything, he wants to make sure that everybody's safe. He manages to get out, and he gets wrapped in barbed wire, which looks like the most agonizing thing that you would ever see a man do. And of course, the daughter, the look that she had was fake. She was wearing a wig, and she was wearing fake tattoos across her face. She only did it to get back at him, to annoy him, to irritate him. He's all like, oh, this is my look, and you can't do nothing about it. So, and then shortly after, skip forward, he wants to get the hostages out because some of them are hurt, and some of them are scared, and some of them might be medically ill. And so, the former Muay Thai champion, also now the ex-boyfriend, wanted Jackie to fight one of his men in a cage, which of course I knew it was going to happen. It's all like 10 to 1 there's going to be a cage fighting. Jackie Chan has no choice but to fight, and because by the looks of things he hasn't fought in a while, he's basically getting his ass kicked, which was a quite shocker for me. I was all like, geez, Jackie, get the hell up. And then suddenly he just started to get back up, and he has the he basically has his opponent's foot in the back of Jackie's head, like forcing his head like this, and then they're all saying, oh, can't remember his name now. So basically, Jackie, don't stop, give up, stop doing this anymore. You got nothing else to prove. And then suddenly, from out of nowhere, he gets the guy's foot off his head, and he puts him in this rear naked choke lock, and he's basically choking him. And he still kept on going, and he got him by the finger. It was either the index finger or the middle finger or the third, and he just simply snapped at the other side, and he is still choking him. He is choking him, and I'm saying from the top of my lungs, choke the son of a bitch, choke him! And then he was allowed to take three people out, but he wasn't allowed to take his daughter out, which was, of course, the original plan. If he does this, he's taking his daughter, but apparently it's not happening. And so he needs to get the guy that was responsible for his daughter's death. And then skip further on, there's 2 men and a woman in a cage, wrapped in a bomb, and then they bring out the man that was responsible for his daughter's death. But what really happened was, she's been depressed. She's been suffering from depression since she found out she was pregnant, and the boyfriend walked off, and that left her in a fit of depression. And then instead of her having her throat slit, she slit her own throat, and it was terrible. And the man that was responsible was working in that club. And then then skip forward ahead again. Jackie Chan gets shot, and the guy that was going to go in front of a train to get run over, because I don't remember if he did or if he didn't, everything just started going crazy. And then he gets sent out. But short than that, he's fine. And same as always with Jackie Chan, after the credits, bloopers and unfortunate scenes that you can easily get hurt from. So from what I can tell, from my own opinion, that was an action-packed film worth waiting for. And Jackie Chan, as it said on the cover, he still has his action-packed mojo. He's still got it. And I know there's another film coming out which is taking place this year, and I can't wait to see it. And I think he's doing a film with Chris Rock, I think. I'm going to have to take a look at the trailer, and then if I do see the cast list, I will make a reaction of it. But personally, I'm glad there was another Police Story, and he did it so amazingly well, and he still hasn't lost his touch. And because of that film, I went back to back and I watched the first Police Story, second Police Story. I don't have the third Police Story, which is basically Super Cop, which is basically hard to find. And I've got Police Story Strikes Back, which is basically Police Story number 4, and then New Police Story, and then I'll probably get back to watching Lockdown again. But now I like to talk about Internet Famous. Now basically it's all these made up YouTube characters, which is Shane Dawson is called Thomas, which his real name is Thomas, but he changed his name to Thomas the Parody King. which of course he's a complete douche. As I said in one of the videos, he's a complete douche, he's a complete a-hole, and he thinks that everybody else is just like his employees, and some of them do appreciate it. So I'm like, yes, I'm your employee, but deep down you're just realizing that you're, I don't think there's a reason for it. But then there's another one where it's called Mr. Blanky the Cat, but he's a director, a film director, and nobody, and he wants to be taken seriously, but apparently they just want to see Mr. Blanket. And he gets psychotically crazy and is like, oh, I'm a film director, nobody's taking me fucking seriously. Excuse my language. But he should have saw that coming. And I have to agree on the fact that nobody's taking him seriously. They want to see his point of view, and all they're talking about is a cat, which of course I'm okay with animals. But I thought it was unfair, but at the same time he was being a complete prick about it, not the actor, the character. And foremost, ahead of time, before he became famous, right, you're a film director, but you need to remember they're going to be asking about the cat. And what happens? He goes to a vet to look for a cat, and he finds a cat that's going for a flea dip, and he offers him like a couple $1,000 a car that's worth a couple $1,000, and then by the looks of things, he took the car and made up a lame story that he basically drowned in his flea dip, which of course you got dipped and you got screwed. And then shortly after, when he's out, when he's being announced out, when I think he was the last contestant to be coming out to introduce Mr. Blanket, and of course everybody snapped and said, "That's not Mr. Blanket!" And he was like, "Yes, this is Mr. Blanket, but this is Mr. Duvet." Seriously? How stupid do you think they were? They know what Mr. Blanket looks like. And then he just snaps and goes, "I'm Mr. Blanket! I'm the film director! I made him! I'm the nominee!" And then he attacks a security guard with a steel chair and he gets tasered. And Wendy herself, the queen of the wobbly wog, I loved her character. I mean, I just simply loved it. I love the fact that nobody's taking her seriously and she wants to be a proper actress, but everybody's seeing her as the wobbly walk. And then she just says, "I don't want to be that anymore," and then everybody's just shoving it in her face and basically telling her to fuck off. And one day she gets a commercial opportunity, which is basically yogurt for women on the go, I think. Then she was basically meant to sing the song, and then the flipping director, as typical that they are, they're going, "Okay, I want you to sing the song, but I want you to do the dance as well." And then she just put her foot down and said, "No, I'm not doing the damn dance. I said to myself, I'm not doing it again." And then she just gets it slapped in her face and told to leave, and then she had no choice but to go back to that Chris that reality show called Chris, which of course I've seen him in another film before with Michael Gallagher, which was Smiley. He was some type of I can't mind because it's been a while since I've seen the film, because every time I see it at my local video shop like Tesco's or like HMV, basically any other store that sells DVDs, it's always there, and every time when I don't have the money, and then when I do have the money, it's not there, which annoys me. But and then there's this girl who does a lot of sketches, but everybody loves her because she has big boobs. And she went to camp. She wanted to make funny, wanted to do a lot of comedy. But before she went to camp, all the kids at high school were treating her like crap. Until one day, she comes back from camp and she's a total Baywatch auditioning for Baywatch. There's a picture of her in a red bikini, and she's absolutely gorgeous looking. And then she's wearing all these personas, for her comedy things, like a pet catcher, and then she created this new one called the Pet Veterinarian, where she's basically wearing a veterinarian coat and a white bikini, which of course horny cosplay no girlfriend perverts started going on like taking pictures and everything. And then there's Scared Baby. Oh, hold on, is that what she's called? Well, anyway, personally, who would anybody in the right mind would do that to a child? Like, scare a kid half to death. That's fucking psychology until you're 20. Or psychology for the rest of your life. Why would you do that to a little girl? I know some people might find it funny, and I think some people are douches when they think so. If I was in his position, I was saying to myself every day, why am I scaring my kid half to death? You got like thousands of viewers after the first video you made of her. That was your stardom. Not scaring your kid half to death, and then you get some girl who's in Instagram and she's got like thousands and millions of followers, all because she's flexible and she's a poser and she likes getting her and she's gonna get plastic surgery around her nose, and then it started hitting him. It's all like, oh okay, and then he's looking at her as a child, and he's all like, I don't want that to happen. And why would you do this business in a diner that you're being attacked by a total jerk off who looks like a trucker, and you're getting stabbed in front of your kid? I didn't like that scene at all. See, when the first time I saw it, I'm like, and then just earlier tonight, I was only after watching it and I skipped at that scene. I'm like, WTF? I mean, that's just totally messed up. And then the next thing, you see the baby sleeping, and he's on the phone, and he got a few missed voice messages, and you didn't quite hear the last one. By the sounds of things, she put her voicemail on while she was having sex with another man. And then that's when he started choking, and then when he got that video where it's just him, his wife, and the baby having a great time together, and he realised he's destroying his daughter's life by doing something stupid, by scaring her, and he forfeited his shot at the competition. And I think by far that was the best choice he ever made. And he's just a normal dad again, and he's trying his best not to do the scare stuff anymore, but I think he's still doing the videos of his daughter so he can send it to his mom. And then Thomas did his original song, which is called I Am Everything, which of course turned into epic cheer to a boo, Thomas, you suck. That was the terrible song ever. And then the judges saying, oh my god, I think you should kill yourself. I mean, I think you should die. You know, basically something like that. And then that's when Wendy came in and did her wobbly dance. And what else? What else did I miss? And of course, Wendy meets the LOL Zordon, who changed her song and turned it into music. And he's been telling her, I think what happened was amazing, and you're just totally throwing it away. And probably from her character's point of view, by the end of the day, I just threw away my opportunity of getting laid with a very attractive long-haired blonde who's well fit, and he's a YouTuber himself. But personally, I would give it a 5 to 5, even though there were some things I didn't agree with, but it was an amazing film. And of course, the Mr. Blanket guy got arrested, and soon enough, as soon as he saw Mr. Blanket, he's like, I want that cat out of here! You ruined my life! I'm a film director! I am Mr. Blanket! And of course, he's getting the crap kicked out of him by the prison's officers. And of course, Wendy has her own TV show, which is basically Dancing with the Stars, only but cheaper. But basically, I really enjoyed that film. But to be honest, I enjoyed Not Cool more than Internet Famous. And as soon as I watched that video, I'm like, is that going to be me? Fighting my way through the stardom, or being a complete fake tan douche that drives a yellow car and doesn't complains to his dad instead of saying, hey dad, how's your life been going? And treating your fans like they're a piece of meat, like you're grabbing on the chest to take the picture and then throwing them away, and then treating other people like crap, and you think they're okay with it, until one day they're sitting on their chair talking to their families, oh, you're not going to believe this YouTuber, he thinks he's Mr. All That. But I hope that it doesn't happen to me, because I want to earn my subscriptions the hard way, by doing right by them. And if I do get it wrong, I'm sure they'll tell me. And if they tell me, I'll see what I did wrong and fix it. Because that's what happens. You make the video, you upload it, and if they like it, great. And if they don't, ask them what I did wrong, and then in the next video, I hope I do right by them. Which of course I'm trying to do. Which of course, it's all going fairly well. I was just playing farewell. Fairly well, should I say? This is not the end of the video. It's just I heard it. Now, the last of the resistance. Presuming no more functions in 3. Right. Batman the Laughing Joke. I would have to say this was the most amazing scene. No, not amazing scene. Amazing animation that Mark Hamill has ever done. His first rated R performance of the Joker. Because I heard about the Laughing Joke. I never read the comic book, but now I want to. Because sometimes when you see the anime, it's like, you should have read the comic first. But, oh, it was the comic first before the right, because I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was the movie, and then it gets turned into the comic, and I'm like, okay, that wasn't in the scene, that wasn't the scene, that wasn't. Oh, what is this? This is based on the movie. It's like, no, that movie was based on the book. Oh, right. So, well, anyway, Batman: The Killing Joke. Not only it shows the birth of Oracle, the more traumatized stories between Batman and Commissioner Gordon. It even shows the origin of the Joker before he became the Joker. So it just starts off with Batgirl showing up, taking down a couple bad guys, and then this leader becomes completely obsessed with Batgirl, and he goes by the name of Paris, I think. Because I've only watched it once, and I might come around to watch it again at some point. Got completely obsessed with Batgirl, and he hired a couple of not hired. He ordered a couple of hookers, and one of them was a redhead, and he asked her to wear the Batgirl mask so he can get frisky with her. And then that's when things were starting to get a little dicey, a little insane, and he got a hit from one of his relatives, which of course he got back at him, and he gets his ass kicked by Batgirl, which of course Batman got hurt in the process, and then and then before that, Batman just said, okay, you're off the case, just stay away, back off. Then the next thing she was all like saying, oh, you asshole, you piece of shit, how dare you do this to me? And then they were at it, and basically Batman was getting his ass kicked by a girl shorter than shorter, flexible, powerful. And then the next thing, she's on top of him, and I'm like, oh my god. First it's a fight, and then it's a kissing scene. Then the next thing, it was a kissing scene. And then I thought Batman was going to force her off, but instead he enjoyed it, and he wanted her. Then, from out of nowhere, you see her taking off the mask and taking off her top. And I'm like, oh my god, those two are about to have sex. And of course, they did. But of course, you don't get to see it. Not unless it was a hugely R-rated film, and are you going to be comfortable watching this? And you do hear from the top of her voice, oh come on Bruce, it was just sex. And then Paris gets arrested, and then she goes home and spends time with Barbara, and then but before that, she surrendered her title as Batgirl. That's it, that's over, because she doesn't want the same thing happening that Batman's been warning her, and especially with that incident on top of the rooftop with a bunch of gargoyles. Jeez, if I was in his position, I would be thinking, okay, I don't want to do this. It's not because I don't care about you, not I don't want you, because I do. It's just, I feel uncomfortable with a bunch of gargoyles looking like they're watching. Actually, that'd be like a cool comedy sketch waiting to happen. But anyway, the classic moment that you've seen through comic, fan-made productions, even from Batman Arkham Knight, where you get to see the flashes of what what the Joker done to Barbara Gordon. But I did not know that Jim was there when it happened. She gets shot in the right in the lower part of her stomach, where the bone in her spine gets shattered, and then Commissioner Gordon gets kidnapped. And then the next thing, the most creepiest thing, I see Joker touching her, caressing her, and I'm like, oh my god, he's not going to do what I think he's going to do. But he just ended up taking naked pictures of her in pain, shattered, covered in blood, and I'm like, okay, this is definitely a very sick bastard version, excuse me for saying, of the Joker. Then he started messing with Commissioner Gordon's mind by taking him through this theme park of all this pain and suffering, and showing all the pictures of what happened to Barbara, and he was completely naked. Like naked, seriously naked. And then I thought he was going to snap at Batman saying, this is your fault, this happened to Barbara. And even though her spine was shattered, but the rest of but from her upper body is going well, and she was worried about her father, and Harvey Bullock was there, and Batman was there, and he just completely went dark, grabbed the picture of the Joker saying, where is he? And started beating up every guy he came across. Then straight to the funfair. Everything started going classic as always with messing with Batman's mind. And then now they're at it in this room where it's completely upside down, and then they're like fighting, they're clashing, fighting. Then the next thing, they're at the far side, the outside of the theme park. Then the Joker's having this big speech moment, and then the next thing, Batman speaks to him, and then a joke comes up about about two prisoners escaping, blah de blah de blah, and then the next thing, Joker laughs, and then from out of the blue, Batman laughs, and I was like. And the next thing, rolled the credits. I'm like, what? You can't leave it like that! And then the next thing, after the credits, Barbara Gordon comes in to becomes a very good athlete with wheelchair lacrosse, I think, which actually sounds which looks fun. But that doesn't mean I want to jump off and be on a wheelchair, because there's a lot of people out there who doesn't want to be on a wheelchair, and I know that. And then the next thing, she walks through this door, and the birth of Oracle, which is great, and you get the cool Oracle emblem. And I do have to agree with Brianna from Family Reactions, which of course she posted up on Twitter. It is definitely a 9 out of 10. But Mark Hamill, one of the most greatest performances. His first rated R performance, and if he was gonna, and this is his last time as the Joker, this is the film that he should leave it. His first rated R performance as the Joker, and that's as good, and that's basically a send off if that's true. Clap in the hand, fist up, with respect, fist to the chest, tap on the shoulder. Hamill, you just don't stop amazing us, man. Because I mean, the first time I saw you from Star Wars, which of course it took me a long time to realise you're the Joker, then you're Wolverine. And you've done a lot of cameo appearances, like say The Simpsons, The Third Rock from the Sun, The Flash, the revamped Flash. You're just basically one of the most awesomest actors ever. You're basically cool. You're awesome. And this was definitely one of your most best performances as the Joker. Your rated R performance as the Joker was absolutely fantastic. So that is my review of 3 films that I've watched last month, which of course was mid and late July, and I think I might have been around August too. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope there'll be more videos like this. And please give me comments or suggestions of other movies that I have that you would like me to see. And of course, I haven't seen Captain America Civil War. Sorry. Still haven't seen X-Men Apocalypse. Still haven't seen the Suicide Squad, and of course, still haven't seen the BFG yet. I've been a fan of since the first film came out a long time ago, and I heard that they're making a live action film of it, which of course I definitely want to see, because I love the BFG. I was once known as the BFG back in primary school, because I was the tallest in my class, which was cool. And a lot of young kids keep seeing my height every time they look at me. They just don't know what to say. But that was back then. I'm not that tall anymore. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and comment and subscribe, and leave your comments of suggestions of films that you would like me to watch and review for my next videos. And I hope you like my video I just uploaded tonight, which is my first superpowered beatdown reaction with Nightwing versus Winter Soldier, and I can't wait to react to the next fight with Wonder Woman and Wolverine. So until then, I'm ConorArmCEO, so YouTubers and YouTuberettes, thank you, and over and out.